So we're back with another video, and today, as I'm sitting here waiting for the car to charge, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about LinkedIn coaches, LinkedIn advice, the stuff that I see kind of online, and I want to give you my honest thoughts on it really, because I think there's so much advice out there for you guys that are watching these videos. I know that LinkedIn is something which you use all the social media platforms, I imagine, but LinkedIn's probably something that you're using for your business quite regularly. And there's lots of people giving their opinions, giving their 2 cents, so to speak, on the platform of what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. And there's a few things that I kind of wanted to cover just in a short little video like this to kind of give you some insight into how to work out what's right to listen to and what's wrong to listen to. Because I don't think there's bad people out there in this space. Actually, the LinkedIn community tends to be very, very friendly. The people that call themselves LinkedIn experts, they're not bad people. I actually just think that maybe they misinterpret their own advice at times. And I went to an event, and this is kind of what this kind of led this video on really. I've been meaning to do it for a little while. But I went to an event around about 4 to 6 weeks ago. It was run by a couple of guys who I absolutely love. They're brilliant. It's one of the biggest marketing events in the UK. It's probably even the biggest. And they had a few LinkedIn experts, as they actually call themselves, LinkedIn experts and specialists on stage. And the biggest issue that I have with all of this stuff is that the stuff that they say isn't actually how they've got to where they've got to. And the advice that's being given is kind of being portrayed as this is like the Bible to how this platform works. And if you just follow these steps and you pay me some money, you will see the same results that they do. And it's unfortunately just not true. I've been fortunate enough. I don't call myself a LinkedIn expert, right? I talk about LinkedIn a lot. I love the platform. I share my experiences on it and how I use it, but I'll never call myself, I hate calling myself an expert. I just think it's full of ego in it. Who decides whether you're an expert or not? I think other people should call you an expert. I don't think you should call yourself an expert. I also don't think you should call yourself number one unless you can prove that you're number one in a space. Like, these are all big red flags for me. And I look at like the way that these people like kind of give their advice, and I've got to be really careful with what I say, but being really like no filter with you. What they are doing applies to their own business, but it doesn't apply to everyone else's, and it lacks context. So as an example, I have LinkedIn services that I've sold for years. But one of the things I have to make every single person that I ever work with aware of is that if you look at what I do, right, and you try to copy it, it won't work for you, because I have LinkedIn bias. So when you're selling LinkedIn services on LinkedIn, it is a lot easier, right? And so when I'm talking about my examples, I very, very rarely talk about my own LinkedIn profile as an example, unless I'm talking about the other businesses that I'm involved with. So the video agency, the property investment company, like those two businesses I use and talk about quite heavily when I'm talking about my own LinkedIn profile, because there's no LinkedIn bias there. Like, I've actually got to go out there and build relationships up in a totally different way to running a LinkedIn workshop, so to speak. And this is the stuff that you've got to realize, that when you're learning from other people that portray themselves or call themselves experts, or even agencies, to be fair, you need to make sure that they can prove that they can deliver the outcome that they're selling in your industry for your business. And actually, that's your responsibility as well. You need to make sure that your business is going to convert. If it gets more attention and more visibility, that is the responsibility of the business owner. It's not the responsibility of the marketer. But like, I see like an example on this stage, and this is where I'm going to really get into the nitty gritty of this stuff. This specific individual, I'm not going to name them whatsoever. And again, I don't think they're a bad person at all. I just think that actually maybe they don't know the real detail of how they've grown the brand that they have, right? And so they have not built their brand from just going out there and posting some content on LinkedIn, right? There's been a lot of tactical stuff that's been applied. So we know, you can see it visibly, that they participate in engagement groups, as an example. I think it's not something that I do. I've tried it. It didn't work for me in the same way. I'll gamify these platforms in any way that I can, right? But for me, I'd rather build a smaller, more loyal audience that's actually really enjoying what I'm sharing, rather than being in a group and spending my life commenting on people's content that, quite frankly, I've got no interest in, just to be able to get some comments back. That's just not the thing that I do. I know that that person's done it, but they don't say that they've done it. They've also spent thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds on advertising, getting their brand out there. They've also spent lots of money building partnerships and building relationships, getting onto podcasts and getting their brand out there that way. All of these things, by the way, are totally fine. The fact is that when they talk about how they're building their LinkedIn brand, they just don't talk about them. And this is like the advice that then I love to go out there and share. When it comes to how I've built my following on LinkedIn, of course, yes, content creation has played a part, but I use paid advertising to build my brand. I use paying to get onto podcasts as my brand, paying to get onto stages as part of my brand building play. We collaborate, we partner, we share people's email lists. There's so many different ways in which you can get your brand out there. And the biggest problem is that these people don't talk about it. It's like, if they talk about it, that they're going to expose how they're doing it, and they almost feel like they're fraudulent. You're not fraudulent, guys. You just need to tell people the truth about how you actually go out there and build a brand, because then you're going to either be even more useful than maybe what you're appearing to be now. For me, there's a big issue in this space, and it's purely down to the fact that I don't think people truly know how they've got the success that they've had. And it's why I love what I do. Like, I spend all my time researching, doing all the analysis, looking at, it's like my favorite thing to do is like looking at a brand at day one and seeing on the journey that they've gone to. And like, for me, all I've done is look at what the best of the best done, taken inspiration from it and done the same thing. Like, it's not been rocket science to me. It's taken a lot of hard work and a lot of time to kind of get to that stage. But with it, it's the reason why we get paid the money that we do, because that information is what people want access to, and they get it quicker coming to us than they would doing all the hard work and the hours that I've spent over the years doing it for myself. But please be careful with these LinkedIn experts. If they call themselves an expert, red flag. If like algorithm reports, and again, nothing about the person that writes the algorithm report. I've seen some of the free ones. They're good algorithm reports, but are you speaking to LinkedIn to get them? Or are you guessing? And if you're guessing, are you saying that you're guessing? Or are you talking about it from like, this is factual? I've seen another LinkedIn expert talk about 360 brew and this LinkedIn algorithm update that's come out. You only have to Google 360 brew and it actually comes up from LinkedIn saying 360 brew was a test and it never got launched. Like, people get away with this stuff, and I don't get it, because you only have to take like a couple of minutes to Google or to ChatGPT or insert any other LLM that you can use to actually fact check some of this stuff, and a lot of it is just nonsense. And so, like, if you're wanting to learn about social media and how you can do it for your business, a lot of the time, like, you can go and just research what the other really, really strong people have done, but don't look at it tactically, like post by post. Look at actually like where they're spending their time, right? Observe where they're spending their time, and maybe then think about, okay, why are they spending their time doing those things? Daniel Priestley is a great example of this. If you look at what Daniel's done, if you've watched any of my videos, I've met him a couple of times, and he's a very, very intelligent guy. I absolutely love what he does. And if you watch what he does, like, he's been on the Diary of a CEO podcast. He's paid to get onto that podcast. That's well known. People pay to go onto the Diary of a CEO, right? It's really well known that happens. And that is a very, very smart investment. You've got millions of users from it. That would be something, if you want to grow your branding, you've got the positioning to be able to warrant going on there and hold your own on there with someone like Stephen Bartlett, then it would be warrant paying for it, right? Now, I don't know that for sure, right, 100%, but I know people, and they have confirmed to me that they have paid quite large amounts of money to get onto that show. It's a big thing. And so when I look at all this stuff, like the algorithm reports, when I look at people giving all these strong updates, I'm like, look, how do you back it up? Where do you fact check it from? Who are you talking to? And for me, if you're watching this right now, I want you to be extremely careful with people that call themselves LinkedIn specialists, right? Look to see if it's the same people commenting on their posts every single time. Something so simple like that. If it's the same people commenting, they're in an engagement group. If you're not going to get access to that engagement group as well, run a mile. It's why actually the people that I love following on LinkedIn, they may not love me, right? But there's a lady out there that was a LinkedIn expert. Like she used to call, well, not, she didn't used to call herself an expert, but she used to teach LinkedIn. And she now doesn't teach LinkedIn, but she's still a specialist. She's still like got so much knowledge around the platform. I'm sure I've got more respect for her now than I ever have done. And she's got a huge community, and she teaches loads of other things. And actually it's all about the community that she's built now. Like there's a reason why people that start off in the LinkedIn space, they branch out, because they realize actually there is more to it, right? And actually the advice, you end up repeating yourself all the time. I'm like a parrot, me, when I'm talking about social media. I say the same things over and over again. Yes, there's like a lot of update here and there, but the reality is that social media is a skill that you learn, and you learn it over time. And you have the ability to be able to learn that if you want to. You've just got to put the time and the effort in, and it's not easy, right? I've been really guilty of this in the past and saying social media is easy. It's simple, right? Logically, it's simple, the buttons to press, but to be skilled in it, you've got to learn it. It's something which it's a specialist skill area to be able to talk on camera, to be able to write in a very, very compelling way, to be able to edit, to be able to choose the visuals. And you're not going to be an expert in 2 seconds. You're just not. And so for me, as I stop my phone ringing, for me, you've just got to make sure that you take all of this advice with a pinch of salt, okay? That's all I wanted to talk about today. So LinkedIn coaches, I don't hold anything against them. Everyone's got to make a living. But please be careful about where you take your advice from. Go and fact check it. Go and look to see whether they've got experience of working with people in your business. Don't just believe the words that they say. Ask it to back it up. Ask how they actually know that this works. If they're trying to say, look at my LinkedIn profile, actually look at the LinkedIn profile. Is it legit and it chops and changes with who comments and who engages, or is it the same? Do they tell you that they're in a group, an engagement group? And if they are, and they don't tell you that they are, probably run a mile. Like, that would be my thing. And being really open, if you want me to answer any questions that you've got around the platform without charging you, like just ask anything you want to know. You want your profile looking at, ask. You want your content looking at, ask. You want your direct messages looking at, ask. If you don't ask, you don't get in this world for me. And I might not be able to get around to all of you, but I'll get around to as many of as you can, because I absolutely love recording these videos and talking to you all off the back of the comments that you leave. So have an amazing day, have an amazing evening whenever you're watching this. If you've managed to last 13 minutes of this absolute ramble, right, this absolute partial rant, then I salute you. I'd like you if I could, but if you are still watching, hit that like button for me, just to let me know that you are still there. And I will see you all soon. Cheers, goodbye.